Hey everybody, and welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I'm Eric. Today on the bar for review, Ardbeg Corryvreckan. As always here on the channel, I'll give you a nose taste finish review of this single malt scotch. I'll tell you a bit about the value, give you my final thoughts and a final score, and then send you to a malt musing. But first, let's get into this Ardbeg Corryvreckan. And if you have yet to hit subscribe, please do. That will ensure you don't miss any of my whiskey reviews coming up. All right, so Ardbeg Corryvreckan. Here's what the bottle's looking like. This is a 57.1% ABV Islay single malt. So this is a heavily peated single malt scotch. Ardbeg Distillery, located on Islay, not far from the other famous distilleries of Laphroaig and Lagavulin. And this whiskey is part of their core range, which consists of 4 other whiskeys, including their 10-year-old, their Uigeadail, the Wee Beastie, and the Corryvreckan, and the NO. So this one is bottled, like I said, 57.1% ABV. It is non-chill filtered. It doesn't say anything about natural color on here, but we do know that Ardbeg does not add coloring to their whiskey. And this whiskey also brings an interesting backstory. So Corryvreckan itself is actually a strait between 2 islands off Scotland, the island of Scarba and the island of Jura. And it's known for a really ferocious whirlpool, apparently one of the most dangerous in the world. And here's what they have to say. This thunderous seething cauldron is named after the Viking prince Brecon, who it is said met his watery end there. This is the legend of Corryvreckan, but not as you've heard it before. Brecon fell in love with an Islay princess, the daughter of the Lord of the Isles. To prove his devotion, the brave suitor was challenged to survive 3 nights in the whirlpool. He sailed into the perilous maelstrom, but the 3 ropes he carried to anchor his vessel were pulled asunder, and so on and so forth. That was the end of him, but gave some fame to this dangerous area of Corryvreckan. So this whiskey is named after that. That's what the box has to say. As for the bottle, similar. Non-chill filtered, said right on the front label here, 57.1% ABV. Bit more backstory. It doesn't say what this is aged in, but from what I've been able to uncover is it is a mix of ex-bourbon and virgin French Limousin casks. Interesting thing about this whiskey itself, much like everything else in the Ardbeg core range, with the exception of the 10 and the 5-year-old Wee Beastie, this is an NAS, so there is no age statement on this Corryvreckan. Okay, now that you got the background, let's get this in the glass. A little bit more. Okay. First, let's go in for the nose. Okay, right away on the nose, I get sweet, a little bit of saltiness. Peat smoke is there. Not overpowering, but definitely there. Kind of a campfire road tar, really signature kind of Ardbeg peat. There's a little bit of a citrus fruitiness as well. Slight lemon, orange. Warming, smells great. A little bit of toffee as well. All in all, good nose. Nothing really popping out. Slight vanilla coming through now. All in all, smells really nice. All right, let's give this a taste. Let's launch it. Wow. Whoa. Every time I taste this, I just am shocked at how intense this whiskey is. Initially, when it hits your palate, soft, sweet, it's peppery, develops right afterwards. Those toffee notes and fruit notes you get right away are just taken over by an intense, heavy smoke, ashiness, pepper, black pepper, serrano pepper type thing. A little bit of clove. Wow, super intense. It is like a bunch of hornets just attacking your tongue. Vanilla coming through now. Wow, there's some other stuff there. Slight herbal note, slight grassy note, lemonish. As it goes into the finish, it is just a long, long finish here. I am getting cigar ash, that road tar again, black pepper, slight melon note, black olive. Wow. Just an intense, this is one of the most intense whiskeys I've ever had. What a ride. The nose definitely fools you. You think you're just kind of, for peat heads especially, you think you're getting kind of a signature, just smoky Ardbeg Scotch, you know, kind of think you know what you're about to expect, but boy, the palate on this is so intense. Also getting this really intense smoked meat note. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna put some water on this. I'm gonna do, you know, at 57%, maybe about 2 teaspoons here. Let's see what else we get out of this. That is the color. Getting a little bit of that Scotch mist coming in there now, which is characteristic of a non-chill filtered whiskey. Non-chill filtering keeps that body intact. You know, they're not putting it through the chill filtering process, which strips out a lot of that kind of bigger proteins in the whiskey that most will say give it a bit more body mouthfeel. With water, so those peppery notes are jumping out a bit more with water now. Still vanilla, lemon, slight orange, slight saltiness too. A lot happening. This is a complex whiskey. Getting a bit more of a chocolate note now in the background. That smoke is still there, that campfire kind of creosote, asphalty peat smoke you get off Ardbeg. It's great. Okay, another taste. With the addition of water, that peppery note that just assaults your tongue has actually taken a step back, and the whiskey itself seems much richer now. The peppery note's still there, still really intense. Getting more now, chocolate, a little bit of caramel, vanilla. Some of these bourbon notes starting to assert themselves a bit more with the addition of water. Still spice of black pepper, clove, a little bit of an herbal note too. It's almost like, I don't know, freshly mowed grass or something like that. It's hard to put a exact note on it. Finish again now. That pepperiness is still there, but more of the bourbon notes. Caramel, vanilla, slight citrus, lemon, orange, chocolate covered orange. Long finish too. Very oily whiskey. That melon note that I got a little bit more on the neat on the finish, not there so much anymore. It's really been taken over by those bourbon notes, but I'm gonna do one more sip. Here's one more look at the bottle. Classic Ardbeg bottle, these green bottles that they use. Classic label, nothing too fancy on the frills. There's a lot of, again, a lot of storytelling background on this, but surprisingly little about the whiskey itself. So you do have to hit up the internet if you want to find out more details on it. As for the value of a bottle of Ardbeg Corryvreckan, going to run you anywhere from about $75 upwards of $100. The price range is pretty large here in the States. Some places you can find Corryvreckan as little as 70, but most places you're looking at that 90 to 100, sometimes a little bit over 100. That's a hefty price. NAS whiskey, but bottled at 57.1%. I think it's moderate on the value. I really do think this is a really good Scotch, especially if you are into really intense whiskey. So my final thoughts here. Wow. Again, if you are a seasoned peathead, Corryvreckan from Ardbeg is a whiskey that is going to push your love of peat to the maximum. It is so intense. It has these rich peppery notes. It has that signature kind of Ardbeg peat smoke. Just a lot of great stuff going on here. If you're an adventurous type and looking for a really intense whiskey, this is another one, worth grabbing. But I wouldn't say I recommend this for somebody just getting into peated Scotch. Stick with the Ardbeg 10 or even the slightly less intense Anno. Ultimately, super complex, really good expression. I know there's been some batch variation over the years, but I think this one that I bought in 2019 stands up really strong. I'm going to give this whiskey a 4 out of 5, which means I recommend buying yourself a bottle. So that is my review of Ardbeg Corryvreckan. So while I enjoyed the rest of this dram, do hit subscribe if you've yet to before, and I will catch you next Friday here on Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews, where I will take on another whiskey here on the bar. Cilantro.